Mark 6 talks about Jesus feeding the 5,000. And here's Jesus and his disciples. And they're here with this huge crowd of people. And it's getting late, and the disciples turn to Jesus and they say, we should send the crowd home because it's getting late and they need to eat. And then Jesus looks at them and says, you feed them. And they're like, with what? And they say, like, we'd have to work months to have enough money to feed all these people. And then Jesus asks them, how much bread do you have? And then he tells them to go and find out, which I find very interesting because he doesn't ask them if they have bread. He asks them how much bread do they have. So he knows they have something. And so they go and find out that he comes back. They come back and they say, we have 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. And he takes it and before that, he says, he instructs them to tell the people to sit down in groups of 50 and groups of 100. And so they do that. And then Jesus takes the 5 loaves and the 2 fish and he blesses it. And then he gives them to the disciples to distribute. And then they keep giving it out and people have more than enough to eat. And then they are left over with 12 baskets of bread and fish. And what stands out to me was that Jesus didn't ask them what they didn't have. Jesus asked them what they did have. And it's interesting how the disciples didn't say, well, we have 5 loaves of bread and this isn't going to be enough. It's like they said that basically they were saying like, we can't do this. We don't have anything. And Jesus said to them, count what you got and bring it to me. Like, show me what you have. Like, you need to be aware of what you have because if I want to show you what I'm about to do. And often we can get stuck on that we don't have enough. Like, God is asking us to be obedient in something and to trust him in something. And we are stuck on, it's not going to be enough, Lord. I don't know how this is going to work out. And God is saying, just bring it to me. God is saying, just bring it to me. He already knows what we have, but he's trying to show us that in trusting him with what we have, because he will multiply it. And notice that Jesus didn't like multiply it and count and say, count all the bread and count all the fish. We want to make sure that we have enough. No, he just kept doing it. He just kept multiplying it, and they just kept giving it to the people. And it was more than enough. And God will take what we have, which is enough, to give it to him because he multiplies it and he will make it more than enough.